Alrighty then. Take two. First one went belly up. Successful Indie Author 5-Minute Focus, episode 448, Being a Workaholic. There's Stanley. He's trying to snuggle in because he fell through the ice this morning and I had to wade in and get him and carry him out. Yeah, it wasn't too bad. All right. Being a workaholic. It's not a badge of honor, but it's not something to be ashamed of either. It's not something to shame somebody for. If you are, you just are. You do what you need to do. You do what you have to do for your own well-being. And that mental well-being is you have to work. This is me. I'm a workaholic. So if I'm working 80 hours a week at $10 an hour, at the end of that week, I have $800. If you work 10 hours a week at $20 an hour, you have $200. So don't be envious of my $800 that I spent 70 more hours to earn just because it looks like at the end of the week, oh, he's got more money. That's not what that's all about. You had 70 more hours to do other things. So just look at it that way. So don't measure yourself on a standard and an element that is separate from putting in the hours. And also, one thing to be aware of is do not confuse being a workaholic with having a good work ethic. Having a good work ethic is something completely different. That's where you do what you say you're going to do. When you're doing something, you give it your all, you do the best you can do, and you get it done. Because that's what a good work ethic is all about. You do what you have to do. Some people start writing a book and then it gets hard and they stop working on it. Sometimes you got to power through. Sometimes you need to stop working on it because it's not a good book and you're not going in the right direction. So you go back to the start, rewrite, and it's easier to rewrite something that's bad and then pick it up than it is to start from scratch and do it all again. Unless it's so bad that you have no idea how to recover it. But that's a completely different issue as well as being a workaholic. For me, I can't sit on a beach. I can't sit on a beach and do nothing, soak up the sun, have a tequila, have a margarita, and just watch the waves. I can't do that. It drives me absolutely and utterly insane. I have stuff I need to do, and I need to do it. So we'll go to the beach, and I'll sit at a cabana, and I'll work. I'll have my computer. Hopefully I have some connection. Even if I don't, it's still okay. And I'll do that. Or read on my Kindle Paperwhite, because you can read on a Kindle Paperwhite in the sun. That's a huge, huge benefit over top of a computer or a lot of other things. So Kindle Paperwhite still working because reading is researching. Reading is what we should do a lot more of than we usually do if we're doing a lot of other things, especially if we're writing a lot of books. We don't read as much as we should, and that's an opportunity. But just sitting there and doing nothing drives me absolutely insane. So I can't do that. Downtime is good. How much do you balance? If you're a workaholic, are you always working? What brings you joy? You still have to find that and get it. Even if you only need an hour a day for joy. For me, Stanley, he's back there. We go out. We've already been on, it's 8 o'clock my time here. And we've already been on 2 walks this morning to include wading into a little stream and carrying Stanley out of there. Even he had his harness, so it has a little handle on the back, so that made it easy to truck him out of there. But those kinds of things, so that's what I do. Go contemplate life in the woods while walking Stanley because he loves it so much to be out there and walk around, especially when the weather's like it is right now. So that's what I do. Now, you have to temper your expectations. Workaholics will have certain things because they've worked so hard to get there. You're going to see most people who are wildly and obscenely successful are probably workaholics, and it's because they put in so much time and focused time. You look at the professional golfers, they have talent, but they also work obscene hours making sure they refine that talent and get the most they can get from it. And the most successful ones, this is what you're seeing. You're seeing them on the golf course, strolling, hitting great shots, and you're thinking, wow, that's great. Look at this. No, you're not seeing the hundreds and thousands and tens of thousands of hours of work they put in so they can take that stroll. You don't see all the work that somebody puts in to then have a book up there that's wildly successful and say, oh man, look at you, just popped up overnight. Yeah, I've been working at this for 6 years. I got over 100 and some books popped up overnight. Yep, that's me. But and then get back to work. So that's what people see and what they don't see, and it's irrelevant. Don't judge yourself harshly if you are or are not a workaholic. But if you're working at something, work to get it done. Have a good work ethic. If you're a workaholic, don't judge yourself against workaholics because you can't win, because they will outwork you. Not because they're competing against you, just because that's how they are. So temper your expectations. And don't shame people into being what they're not. So if you're a workaholic and you're expecting everybody else to put in 80-hour weeks, you shouldn't. Don't do that. What's the deal? What's the contract? What does it look like for them to support you? Like an executive assistant, a personal assistant, a cover designer, an editor, all of that. What are their hours, and work with their expectations and their abilities and what they are willing to do. Make sure you know that ahead of time so you don't have unrealistic expectations. All right? Don't judge people for what they're not. Don't judge people for what they are. Just let people be. Don't shame anybody into being something different. Let them be how they are, but temper your expectations. Don't expect to get the same rewards working 10 hours versus somebody who will work a focused 80 hours week in, week out. Temper your expectations, and don't compare yourself to other people. All you can do is compare yourself to yourself. And how did I do this week compared to how did I do next week? I can't put in more hours, so I need to be more efficient with my hours. So that's my constant challenge is, did I get the most out of these hours that I should have? And how can I get more? That's get more out of those same hours, not how can I get more hours. Time is limited. Time is a limiting factor. So you got to get more efficiency, be more efficient, and that's how you win as a workaholic. All right. Peace, fellow humans. Oops. Try that again. Oops. Try that